Hey everyone, this is the 7th game review I'm doing for the Spooktober Jam. The theme was Mask the Truth. Like always, the shameless plug at the beginning of the video. Check out our game, Thru the Lens. Great art, great music, a couple different endings, some mystery, and some spooks available to you. So give it a shot, see what you think of it. So let's get to what you guys really want to see, your games. So we're going to start off with Moonway by Dragon Mesh. They have the ability to play in the browser, and they also have a downloadable version. I always go with the downloadable version because that's usually the more stable version. I just want to always try to do the best version possible. I also try the games out beforehand, check out the audio and see if it actually works on my machine. And so I'm going to try to keep that in mind when I'm going through here, because sometimes I might skip over stuff because of that. But anyways, let's see what they say. This is a demo version of a game made for Spooktober Jam 2020. In this game, a young sorceress must collect magic crystals hidden in the maze of an old house. You should also be careful not to fall into any clever traps. Objective: collect all the crystals and exit the room through the far door. Controls: AWSD or cursor keys for moving, spacebar for jump. So that's good to know. Nothing else on the page, so let's get started. I like the icon. Always good to have a little icon for your game, just that little extra polish. Menu is pretty straightforward. They do the credits right on the page, kind of what the game is about, your character and crystals. So let's see what the game is like. So I'm going to start off by running around. You can jump with spacebar. I'm just using AWSD to move around. I do believe there are traps that kind of just pop up, so you just have to try to avoid them. You do have a health bar. Sometimes you randomly get hit by stuff that you just can't see, so that's one of the issues with it. Even though you think you're in the clear, sometimes you still just get hit with something. So got that. Looks like we have one more crystal? Where I think I see it. Alright, we got all the crystals. Not really sure what we're supposed to do now. I haven't tried it out this far. Can we go out the door? Oh wait, look at that, we won. So just a very short game. I mean, graphic wise, pretty simple for geometries, but it also works because all the aesthetic matches. The character is pretty well animated, at least from what I can tell. Top down with 3D is sometimes just a little hard to get some more detail in there than what you expect you should get. Menus, they work out well, they're smooth. UI, pretty straightforward. You can tell what your health is, you can tell how many crystals you collected. I can see that you must have like a slider on here possibly, or your slider fill just doesn't go all the way. So it's little stuff like that. It's just a little polishing here and there. But overall, I think you did a pretty good job. Controls were smooth. They responded to exactly what you were doing. Game, like the heaviness of the character was a little sluggish. So maybe tweak that around a little bit. Let's see. Again, graphics were okay. Theme, I'm guessing Mask the Truth is for the traps, so it does go with the theme, so that's gonna get a decent rating. So I'm gonna go on to the next game, exit out of here. So Moonway by Dragon Mesh completed. Whatever possessed you. Okay. So it looks like a little graphic novel type game. You are a malevolent spirit looking for another shot at life. It just so happens every Halloween night the spirits of the dead can try to possess one of the living. With some effort, you manage to possess one of the guests at a Halloween party. Their entire life flashes before you, but you don't have long. If you can avoid the suspicion of Sarah, host of the party, then maybe she can be possessed by your dead wife, and you can both live happily ever after. If only you can convince her you're the real thing. And then they give you some install instructions. So let's try it out. So I don't know if it's just the game or if this is how it was animated, but it does run. It seemed like it's running a little slow, or maybe it's just the way the animation is. It's hard to tell sometimes. I should have what kind of frame rate I have going up in the corner, but I don't. Play. At last, back from the dead, another chance at life. This body I have possessed, I must find another way for my wife. But I must not raise suspicion. What do I know? What do you need to pretend to be? So you have a couple seconds to look through this list. So one thing I wanted to see if it actually works is, yeah, there we go. You can just do a screenshot. So something like that can break your game. Just small things like that can really screw up your game. But anyways, since I really didn't look at the list, I'm just going to go through it and see what happens. Hey, you're first person here. My party is a bit lame right now. How was work today? The restaurant was quite today. It must be tough being the best chef in town. I guess so. You want to throw some music on after this? You have good taste. Let's try heavy metal. Cool. Great, I always like the stuff you put on at your place. My German classes start soon. I can't wait to be bilingual. So something I noticed is the prompt questions. They're always the same. And they're very direct to what you need to answer. The flow of conversation is kind of off because of that. And with these visual novel games, it's just kind of making the flow a little bit better would probably help out, since there isn't much to these games anyways. It's kind of just like a memory match type game. And of course, if you use a little snippet, that also kind of ruins the game as well. But anyways, gameplay wise, it's memory match for the most part. You get time to memory at least, and you only have, I believe, 4 chances to get stuff wrong before an issue happens. So let's try to make that happen. So let's see, I'm going to go with the opposite answers of what we are. So do I wear glasses? I wear glasses. I don't know, I don't wear glasses. Oh, no, now she's suspicious. Wait, how can you not know if you wear glasses or not? Continue. What's this next one? You should know Liam and Caitlin have fallen out again. I'm glad I don't have siblings. Do you have siblings? Let's see. Brothers and sisters. Having no siblings doesn't bother me. Do you not even know your own family? I do not. You know, I miss the feeling of going out trick or treating when I was a kid. So, let's see. Do you have kids? Yes, I have kids. Yeah, I guess if I had kids. Oh, wait. Nope. Sorry, I answered that one the wrong way. I set up your favorite Halloween party game for the later, by the way. So what is our favorite game? Favorite bobbing for apples. So let's avoid that answer. Wrap the mummy. Oh, sorry, that's not what I thought you wanted. We were going to rent a horror movie for later. Any suggestions? What are we afraid of? Looks like mice is what we're afraid of. Arg, imposter, there is something definitely wrong with you. Game over. Oh, and then she runs away. She figured me out. My scheme has failed. Back to the ether for now. Okay, so pretty interesting. Just memory match. It was an interesting take on the theme as well. You're masking the truth of who you really are. So I think you created a pretty solid game for such a simple gameplay mechanic. So solid entry. So good job on that. So let's go on to the next one. This one is Strung by Team Marangu. And I forgot to mention, Whatever Possessed You was by Box of Lights. So let's get back to Strung by Team Marangu though. This is for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Download now, name your own price. You wake up in a world that's different from what you remember. Different and yet familiar, but it is a world that's different, or is it that that's different? A short, surreal, visual novel point-and-click game about senses. How will you deal with the world around you? Features 3 endings, interact with objects and with point-and-click mechanics, original art, story, music, 15 to 20 minutes per playthrough. Okay, so a decent length game. Content warning, has depression and implied suicide. Okay, so if you are sensitive to that, you can skip to the next video. I'll try to leave like a timestamp or something for it. And let's see, created for Spooktober Jam. If you support us with $2, you can get the files for artwork and soundtrack for the game. So that's something that is a little distasteful a little bit on this, is with game jams, it's not really for profit. It's more for the experience most of the time. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, is usually make your games for free if you can. They do have it for free, but they are asking for their own price and they're asking for money for it. So that's one thing I would say to maybe avoid. So, okay, let's get started with the game. I won't be playing through the entire 15 to 20 minutes though. I'm just going to start it up and see how the mechanics work and see what the story kind of is. The audio is very nice for this game, by the way. The visuals are also very good. Their menu is really, really nice. The About Us, the settings, you can change the graphics, high, low, medium. I'm just going to leave it at medium. You can even change the text speed, music volume. So they definitely put in some effort into this part of it. Fuzzy, my head feels fuzzy. Limbs, root canal. As I awaken, my body feels different from before. Joints creak, like I've been asleep for some time. Even so, my body feels lighter, like it's been cleansed. No longer burdened. Eyes won't focus. Blur. You can move your mouse around and make the whole screen shake around, so that's a kind of cool little effect. Ah, awake. The voice sounded like it was traveling through water. Are you talking to me? Producer, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, you'll get to see some just jumbled up words. So, we'll just kind of cycle through this. Anyways, give us a call, blah, 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 blah. Though I couldn't hear clearly, though I have no memory of anything else, those words that I couldn't understand, I instinctively understood. So now we're just looking around, and you have some options. Okay, so let's look around, see what we can do. I run my fingers across the tray table. A scratchy noise rings out from the motion. I can't feel any of the small textured bumps that I know are there. My fingers no longer mold to the indents. I guess that makes sense. Images flash by on the screen in front of me. The screen isn't showing anything in particular, just momentarily glimpses of various things. Films are quite amazing, aren't they? Each scene's composition has to have some significance. As a result, they look visually appealing. Films always make the ordinary look like something more. They convince us to look around and find beauty in ugliness and mundanity. But they can also disconnect us from reality, exacerbating the mundanity. Even if it's unrealistic, if only I could see the world through that camera lens. And then nothing. Can't do anything with the lady there, and then we look out the window. Blood moon. The sight of a pale gold moon against a brilliant gradient of blues flash across my mind. But as soon as the sight fades, I can no longer remember what it looked like, no matter how hard I tried. It's as if the memory jumped out of the slosh of my brain, only to sink into the depths one more. That sight, why am I remembering it now? Alright, so we'll go back, and then we'll wait. Why am I here? Why am I going? Does that even matter? A flight is a rare opportunity to do nothing. Wait. They say that at higher altitudes, the dry air and air pressure change reduce taste bud sensitivity. That's why airplane food apparently tastes worse than normal ground level food. Not like that really matters to me now. The constant roar of the engine dulls the ears. A roar is just a vibration of air. A vibration of air somehow translates to sound pitch, the noises we hear. Alright, so far it's, if you know anything about depression or any kind of mental illness, you start to see some of the similarities between what they're trying to get at with what they're at least trying to describe with the images and the descriptions of what they are, especially with like the blood moon and the TV screen, especially the taste buds about the food. So you do get into a sense of that. So if you do like that kind of game, this is something you would want to check out. The art style is nice. So I'm gonna just back out of this, go to the menus, so that way you can see the menus working very well. And that's another thing about these kind of games for game jams. Always give the players an easy way out of your game. Escape, setting it to quit application is perfect. It's just always nice to have. Or if you can make it so it's a little menu that brings you back to the menu, yeah, that's even better. So I'm going to quit out of that, and now we're going to go on to the next game, which is Herd by Serial Killer 7. Interesting name. Okay, so Herd, a dystopian game about sheep herding. Audio manager by Brackeys used. Okay, so Brackeys fan, huh? I can understand that. Let's go herd.exe. So we're just going to start this one up. So you can see you have a little sheep face. Oh, and then you go up close to him, and then he follows you. You go to the goal. So this is actually a pretty clever interpretation of Mask the Truth. You're changing your appearance to get the game to do what you need it to do. So, next level. The menuing is very nice. Let's see. They have your UI and the tutorials right on the screen. Very reminiscent of any type of game jams that you see. So, spacebar puts a little wolf mask on, so now you scare the sheep. And then you got to the goal. Boom. So the puzzles are pretty clever, actually, just with this simple mechanic of switching your mask back and forth. So you can just bring them up, scare them over, boop, boop, boop. Go back to sheep mode. This one is could be a little tricky. All you need to do, though, this is actually like a pressure pad. You need to scare the sheep onto it, or lead them over to it, either way. And then we'll try one more level. So, pretty simple puzzle here, but you can always have a trap where you might scare the sheep into it. So, let's go back this way. Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to scare him over. Go up, up, up. And then get him to follow. And boom. Alrighty. Well, I think that's all I'm going to do for this one. The puzzles just get a little more difficult as you go. Pretty fun game, actually. Simple. It's like one of those hyper casual type games. And sometimes that's all you need. But I think everyone did a pretty good job on this one, on this reviews. And, I mean, the graphics were good on that last game. They were simple. They were streamlined. They matched the game itself. Very clean looking. UI was very clean with it. Sound design was actually pretty well done for that game as well. Everything matched. So I'm going to end the video here though, because that was the very last game that I was going to check for today. And I hope you guys check out my game as well, Thru the Lens. The team behind it was amazing. There was quite a few